funeral prayers have been offered for Iran's late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei in Tehran as the country entered the second day of national mourning ceremonies. Thousands of mourners gathered at the Grand Mosalla complex, while senior Iranian leaders and foreign delegations attended the prayers. For more on this, we are joined by AsiaOne Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Mallick, live from Tehran. Thank you, Anas. So what can you tell us about the funeral prayers offered in the Khamenei's, for the Khamenei and his family?
Well, one of the many funeral ceremonies were held today here, Lala, and what you see behind me, the crowds continue to pour out from the Grand Mosalla. To my left is the Grand Mosalla Khamenei. To my left, that is the dome that you see. To my right are the gates of the Grand Mosalla, and even now the crowds continue to pop in and pop out. The first funeral prayer is one of many, the one that was held today, that will be held. The funeral prayers that were held in Tehran will be followed by funeral prayers that will be held in Qum, then in Najaf, then in Karbala, then in Mashhad, and onwards for his burial of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on the 9th of July. That burial will be taking place in Mashhad. Now, speaking of the scenes what we witnessed, the roads that you see, they were jam-packed. They were literally jam-packed. It was packed inside and it was packed on the outside. The estimates are yet to come in, but we saw senior Iranian leadership. The IRGC head, Ahmed Wahidi, he was here. The President of Iran, Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian, he was here. Bakir Kalibaf, the Speaker of the Iranian National Assembly or the Parliament, he was here. Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, the Iranian Foreign Minister. Then we also had other senior Iranian officials in the participation, including 3 out of the 4 sons of the Ayatollah, the former Ayatollah, the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The 3 sons were in participation, the 4th being the current or incumbent Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei. He was not in participation, but we saw very emotional scenes. The crowd here, they were really very emotional to the point that their tears, their sobs could be heard out loud. The chants that were there, the chants that were followed from the stage and then later responded to, that were very clear as well. We saw families, we saw women, children, everyone being here. They were the ones responding to, and there was genuine sense of detachment that was felt, genuine sense of the feeling of having been taken away, something having been taken away. That was felt during that course of the funeral that we saw here. We spent the night in Mosalla here, in Mosalla that is to my left, and even now what you see behind me, the crowds, they continue to pour in, the crowds, they continue to pop in even now. So all in all, it was a very charged and emotional ceremony, but one of the many funeral ceremonies that will be held for the late Supreme Leader of Iran. Now today the body will continue to lay rest inside. We've been bringing you visuals from the inside as well, and then following that at a later stage, perhaps what we're given to understand is that things will proceed in an organized manner. Tomorrow there will be the funeral procession that will be held with the body, and then onwards the body will be taken to the city of Qum, the holy city of Qum, that's about 120 kilometers from Tehran itself. Now the funeral procession will be marked along the different roads of Iran, but it's very hot, it's very dry, and people, despite of the inclement weather conditions, they continue to pour in. Leila?
And who among the Iranian officials were present at the funeral prayer?
Well, among the Iranian officials was Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian President, Bakir Kalibaf, the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, the Iranian Foreign Minister, Khomeini, the Iranian Interior Minister, the head of the IRGC, Major General Ahmed Wahidi, he was also there. Then the 3 sons of 4 out of the 3 sons, or 3 out of the 4 sons of the late Ayatollah, the late Supreme Leader, they were there in participation. But beyond the public figure, this was a public event. This was an event for the public, and we saw the public coming in, outpouring to show their outpoured love for their late Supreme Leader, and it was quite of a charged scene that we witnessed inside about some hours ago. Here, just outside of which I'm standing, inside these boundaries of the Grand Mosalla. The roads that were the adjacent roads, one of which I'm standing at, they were packed and they continue to remain packed with mourners coming in and going out of the Grand Mosalla. Leila?
And do you know anything about the attendance of the current Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei to the funeral?
Well, between now and the 9th of July, there are still many other funerals that have been planned. So, in that context, we're given to understand that he might just be coming in at some later point, but he was definitely not in participation at the funeral procession that took place today here in all the funeral prayers that took place here today in Tehran. But as I said, the next funeral prayers that will be held will be in Qom, then in Najaf, then in Karbala, and then onwards in Mashhad, where the late Supreme Leader will be laid to rest as well. So between now and the 9th of July, perhaps you can expect the incumbent Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei to show up. But for now, the one that took place, the ceremony that took place in Tehran, we can definitely say that with surety that he was not there, owing to the security concerns.
And what is the schedule of the events until the burial of Ali Khamenei and his family?
Well, the schedule of events stands like the body. This Mosalla was made open public. The funeral ceremony began on the 3rd of July. On the 4th, it was made public. Today was the funeral prayers. The body will be inside the Mosalla in a state of mourning. Will continue to lie inside the Mosalla in a state of mourning, and then onwards on the 3rd, on Monday, the 6th of July, is when the body will be taken in a procession form across the streets of Tehran, which will be Tehran's farewell to their late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Then the body will be taken to Qom, where another set of funeral prayers will be held. From Qom, it will then be taken to Najaf and Karbala in Iraq, and then from Iraq it will come back to Iran, where in Mashhad the final funeral prayers will be held, and he will be laid to rest. Yes.
And Ali Khamenei's sons, Masood, Maysam and Mustafa, reportedly attended the prayers for the late Supreme Leader. So what can you tell us about this?
Well, yes, as I said earlier, that 3 out of the 4 sons of the late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei were definitely in participation. That is what we can confirm. But the incumbent Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, he was not in participation, potentially due to security concerns that might be arising. But that being said, at the same time, there seems to be some tacit understanding, and as I said, this event was more to do with that public standing. And the reason we saw more than just the dignitaries, this was for the public and the public's outpoured love and passion and commitment towards their former Supreme Leader could very well be seen and was very well reflected in that emotional scenes that we witnessed when the funeral was happening, Leila.